Good evening, Mr. Guru.
Good evening.
So I wanted to come on here and say that I've been following you for a couple of weeks now, and I do agree with a lot of things that you say. I also agree that I think that women should spoil not spoil, but have a certain level of investment in their man as well. I'm new on the dating scene, so I wanted to ask you, when do you think that it's appropriate to do that?
You're new on the dating scene? What
Yes,
does that mean exactly?
meaning that newly I'm newly seeking for, a serious relationship, something that is going to be long lasting, something that's going to be you know, future.
Okay. Um, were you
What
married? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Were you married? Were you in a long relationship?
I was in a long relationship. I've never been married.
How long
I
was
was
the
in
relationship?
7 years. That was 3 years ago.
Why you stay a man with for 7 years and then get married to him? Why?
So I wasn't with a man. I was with a woman, and I did not get married for
Why were
obvious
you with
reasons.
a woman for 7 years?
Hmm. Well,
Because
that's
I'm
a long.
assuming you want to be with a man now, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Why are you with a woman for 7 years?
Um, at that time, I truly believed that I was going to, be long term, raise a family and everything
You
with a
thought that
woman.
was gonna be your forever?
Yes, I did.
Mm,
I had my doubts. I had my doubts for sure, but I thought that was going to be my forever.
okay. Did she think the same thing?
Hmm.
So why neither of you proposed marriage?
We did at the end. We did. We were engaged.
No, I don't want to talk about at the end. You had all those other years. I'm asking why didn't either of you propose marriage?
Hmm. That's a great question. We had talked about it. We had talked about it a lot, and I think we were just kind of going through life. We were both very career driven. We had started a business together. We were
You're
focusing
talking
on,
about everything else besides what I'm asking you.
as far as marriage. I don't think that either one of us were
Isn't the
ready.
isn't marriage the ultimate commitment that two people make to each other to be
Yes,
married?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So how can you think somebody's your forever, but there's no ultimate commitment? That's what I'm wondering.
A great question. That's a great question. Um, I think that
How did you meet her?
Instagram,
Mm.
interestingly enough,
How soon
Instagram.
after you guys were together did you start spending on her?
Um, wow, that's a good question. I probably would say within the first few months, like probably the first 4 or 5 months.
That you
We
guys
were
were talking or a couple? There's no way you guys were a couple and you didn't buy her nothing for 5 months.
no, no, no. We by that time we were a couple. Yes, we were a couple,
Okay.
and we both invested into each other. We both bought each other gifts. They were lavish gifts sometimes, and I mean, not like lavish, but we would spend a good amount of money on each other.
Okay.
So.
So when you were just getting to know her, right?
Mhm.
Before you guys were a couple, did you buy her anything significant?
No, no,
Nothing.
no,
Okay.
not before we were a couple. No.
Okay. Did you buy her food or anything small? Take her out to
No,
eat?
no. For the most part, she would pay for most of our,
She
kind
paid.
of our.
She paid for you.
Yes, she did.
Were you guys intimate before you were an official couple?
Um, no, no. We were an official couple before we were intimate.
Okay. So your question now is, how soon should you start spending money on a man?
Yes.
Is he
To me,
your
sorry, go ahead.
is he your man?
So that's my question, is that for me, I have now been in the dating, in this dating world for a few years, right? I say I'm newly in the dating scene, but I say newly because this is very different for me. It's different dating women than dating men.
What I was saying is I need very direct answers from you.
Okay.
Because what you're doing right now is you're giving me all of this backstory. So in order for me to help you out, I need to get very direct answers. Okay, let's try again. You were not spending on this woman for months into the relationship. Until you guys were official couple, then you actually started buying.
Yes.
Okay. But before then, you were buying, or I'm sorry, she was buying most of like the lunches and dinners anytime you guys would go out and do anything.
That's correct.
Okay. Why didn't you buy or pay for anything in the early months? Why?
And I think that I still think this way is, for me, I believe a little bit more traditionally that, you know, that the other person should invest in, like, I will.
Traditionally, there was nothing traditional about your lesbian relationship. Don't. Why are you talking about traditional?
Okay. I knew that word was gonna,
Traditionally,
I knew that word was gonna land a little interestingly. Um, but for me, I would rather have the person, or, am more welcome to the person being the one that invests their money. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm not saying that I've never done that before, that I've never, split a dinner or something like that. But,
are you
you know,
into tarot cards or psychic readings or anything like that?
no. What do you
Nothing.
mean?
Okay.
No.
Just give like a very earthy kind of spirituality type of person. I don't know.
I
Just you
I get
just
that.
wear locks. That's it. You just wear locks. Other than that, you're normal.
What do you mean by normal?
I'm just wondering. Are you into any type of like Afrocentric religion or spirituality? Anything that's just different from what most people would expect or what most people would know?
I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research into. I was raised Christian, but I do a lot of research.
That's it. Is that what's behind you? Is that a shower curtain or what is that?
No, that's a curtain. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
a regular curtain.
Okay. You just do a lot of research.
Yes, I do a
Okay.
lot of research. So I have a business. It's a wellness, a health and wellness, a holistic business. So I do a lot of research from the medical perspective, of things. So
How tall are you?
I'm 5'1",
What do you weigh?
about 112 pounds.
Okay. How many men per week approach you?
Um, I'd say a handful.
Okay. What usually happens?
I guess it depends on the approach.
I'm talking
I
about in person. I'm not talking about online.
Okay, in person. So, again, it really depends on the approach. I tend to be, I'm a friendly person, so I'm not, a person that's gonna just look at you and say, like, what are you doing? I will say, okay, thank you, if they are saying a nice compliment or something like that. But I usually will not accept a phone number if somebody's asking me, for my number, unless it's something that's business, related. So that's usually how it will go, unless it's something that's business related. Um, Yeah.
What if
I don't
it's
usually get,
personal related, if they're interested in you? That's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about approach, I'm saying approaching you as in they're interested in you, not for business.
I will accept
How
a
many
phone
times do you get
number,
approached in a week for personal reasons?
a handful,
Okay.
a handful.
What usually happens?
They will usually ask me something like, "Hey, are you single?" Or "Hey, you're beautiful. Can I
And
get your Instagram? Can I get your number?
and
Can
what
I
do you
get?"
do? How many times do you give most of them your information? One of them? How many would you say you give out your information to?
I might give one or two my information, and like I said, usually it's because of something that's business related. I will usually, curb the conversation to say, "Hey, this is if you want to reach out for this, I for CMOS or whatever it is, then here's my information." So I usually I'll curve it to say something business.
I thought you're looking at dating and trying to get to know a man. Why are you changing it to business?
Because it's usually the approach that I'm not receptive to.
What do you mean? So what are you receptive to?
Um, I
How
like
did you get with this woman? What how did she approach you? Or did you approach her?
She approached me.
On
Like I said, we met.
Instagram, how did she do it?
Yes,
What did she
yeah,
do?
we met on Instagram. So I was featured on a profile that we both were following, and she liked my picture, and then she liked a couple of more of my pictures. She started talking to me through DM, but to me, honestly, the reason I keep saying about approach is because I get a lot of approaches, but I can sense what the intention is behind it. And so I will get approached by a man that's like, there's a lot of, I guess, sexual energy behind it. Right. And it's like, it's fine. I get it. Maybe you're attracted to me, but although that it could lead there, but that's not, I don't want you to be looking at me with lustful eyes. And so the way that she had approached me, to go back to her, the way she had approached me was much more like, kind of like, "Hey, how's your day?" Like, she was trying to get to genuinely know me, and it wasn't just like, "Oh my gosh, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that." So it was genuine. It was much more genuine. um so if I feel that an approach, kind of coming back to present tense, if I feel that an approach is genuine, you really are trying to get to know me and not trying to just, you know,
Well,
lust after me, then fine.
how would you know that just by them saying you're beautiful?
Um, it's in the way that you're looking at me. It's in the way that do you grab my hand, or do you go, to try to, I don't know, hug me, or do you you know what I mean? Like, are you, I don't know, licking your lips while you're saying it or something like that? I can't give you all of the, specifics, but I know when I feel it.
Mm. So you haven't felt like this with no man that's approached you.
I'm not going to say no, man. I'm not going to say no, man. There are definitely some that, have approached me, and it's been, a great approach, and maybe an exchange of a number will happen, right?
Have you been
Um,
out with any of these men over the last couple months?
yes, I have. I've gone on a few dates. Um,
Have you been
you know,
intimate with a man since you broke up with this woman?
I have.
When's the last time you were intimate?
Um, a few months ago,
And when did you break up with her?
3 years ago,
Okay. What happened with that situation
4 years,
what
4 years.
happened with the situation with the man from a few months ago?
So that was a man that I had known for a little while,
Were you guys in a
couple
relationship?
years. This man and I.
Yeah, were you guys in an actual relationship?
So I'm gonna say yes, because he did ask me to be in a relationship with him. I said yes. Let's try this out. But it didn't last very long. It lasted like a couple of months. So that's why I don't really say like, oh, I was in a relationship. To me, like,
He's
relationship is,
somebody you've known from what?
Somebody that I've known for a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years, I had known.
Okay, so why did it end?
I decided to end it because um, I had a few reasons. Probably the biggest one was I felt like he lacked ambition.
But you would have known that before you got intimate with him.
That's correct.
So I don't buy that.
You don't buy
You're gonna
that
have to give me something better than that. I don't buy that you let him go because he lacked ambition. I just had a whole woman earlier that came up and said she held on to a man that love bombed her that was real good in the bedroom for 2 years. So was he bad in the bedroom?
No.
So it has to be something else then.
I'll be honest with you. Like I said, there were a few reasons, and ambition was one of them, but my family, you know, I just could not see us moving forward, creating a family, and for there to be such a discord between my family and him. My family was not accepting.
These are all things you would have known before you got intimate with them.
You're right. Yes, I'm not denying that.
So why'd you do it? That's what I'm figuring out. Why did you still decide to get intimate with them? You say you do a lot of research, you're intellectual. A man has to approach you a certain way to even get your attention. But still, with all of these things, as intellectual as you are, it seems like you're just making bad, dumb decisions when it comes to your relationship life. Why?
I'm figuring it out, Guru. I'm figuring it out.
How can a woman that's doing all this research and be so smart and intellectual still make these type of decisions? Why? I don't get it. Was he a good talker?
Yes, we had a lot in common as far as the way that we thought about this world, the way that we thought about future, the way that we thought about religion and spirituality, things like that.
So even with all that, it's still that's the point I'm making. See, I've dealt with you kind of women before too, right? Which is why I was getting a sense. I was, I already know what kind of woman you are. And even you kind of women still do these type of things. The woman that was on here earlier, she had a master's degree in psychology. She said, I've written all these research papers, even on narcissism and this and that. And she still was bamboozled. You guys still do this type of stuff, even though you know so much research, you know so much about, oh, I know this kind of man is, he's just trying to do this, he's trying to do that. Do you feel like this man was just trying to get in your underwear?
Honestly, I didn't think that was the only thing that he wanted. I truly believe that he wanted, that he wanted more.
If he wanted more, so why didn't he improve and up his ambition and do the things that you wanted him to do so he can be with you? If he wanted more, that doesn't make any sense.
He wanted me to do more. He wanted me, at the beginning, I joined.
He wanted you to do more, like what?
Well, when I joined the conversation at the beginning, you were talking about, women investing into men.
Correct.
And he wanted for me to be that piece for him that he kind of was like, this year, the missing piece, he wanted to move. So we are long distance. He's, in a different state. So he wanted to come and move here. And
he wanted to move in with you?
Not necessarily. He wanted to, he wanted for us to get our, a place together. I do have my own place, but he wanted us to get a place together. And so the entire step of the way, I felt like I had to help him with everything, when it came to getting a job, when it came to, getting a place.
Is he working where he's at right now?
Yes, he does.
And he wanted you to help him find a job and do all this stuff and find a place in your city?
That's correct. And I have
So
no
why
problem.
couldn't you help him find a job and help him find a place? If he don't know nothing about the city, why couldn't you help him do that?
I did. I sent applications. I sent so many applications. He had an interview. You know, and there were different things that he needed to set up as well. We wanted to start businesses. Like I said, I have a health and holistic business. I'm also a physician assistant. I also have.
You're a PA?
I am a PA. Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, I wanted to help him start all of
Have
these
you
different.
ever been with a man for any significant time in your life? Ever?
Only when I was 19 to 20. So 2 years.
It's a big problem. How old are you now?
35.
You don't know how to be with a man.
Respectfully, it's been rough out here.
You know, I need to, now I realize what I need to do. I need to take some time off of doing these streams, and I need to really finish developing this coaching program. Y'all are in triage out here. Y'all don't know what y'all are doing. This is why you're getting into these type of things. Listen, let me tell you something. I talked to a woman who's 29-year-old virgin, right? She had a one-on-one with me. She only needed one. A lot of these other women need like 5 to 10, but she only needed one-on-one conversation. She was African. She knew how to treat a man. She knew how to be sweet, submissive, kind. She knew all of these things. She was very loyal, right? And she had never been with a man. I told her, here's what I told her. I said, you need to lose 7 pounds. 7. She was already in pretty good shape. I told her to lose 7 pounds. I wanted her to just become even more attractive. And I told her what she needed to do in order to position herself and put herself out there, because she was just sitting at home all the time. She wasn't marketing herself. Mm-hmm. That woman came back to me within 2 or 3 weeks and said, Guru, oh my God, everything you said worked for me. I found one of the most amazing guys. Mm-hmm. He's very serious. Y'all don't know what the hell y'all are doing.
You know,
for as much research and for as intelligent as you are, and you've gone through all this schooling, you don't know how to deal with a man. You don't know how to dwell with a man. Was he a good man?
In some aspects, in a lot of aspects, yes, he was a good man.
So how did he fall short? The only thing you told me is ambition. What exactly did he fall short in? Because he wasn't putting out enough job applications himself? What's your real reason?
It wasn't necessarily the job applications. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind doing those types of things.
What's your real reason? You don't have to tell me that again. What's your real reason?
My real reason?
Yeah. I don't think you really. How many times were you guys intimate?
I mean, enough.
How many?
I can't tell you.
Over 10?
Yeah.
Do you like being intimate with a man, or was it uncomfortable?
No, I enjoyed it. There was no issues or anything like that. To be honest, I know that you're looking for something for me to say it in a different way or really get to the root of what it is.
Because it's not making sense. There's no logical sense that you're saying that the only thing that was going on was that I'm hearing was You're saying he wasn't ambitious enough. What does that mean? What does that translate into? Well, I was putting in a lot of his job applications and I was helping him trying to find a place in the city. That's normal.
Meaning like this. All of the things that he was saying to me. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. So he was older. He was older than I was, right? I'm 35 years old. He was 55 years old. So all of the things that he was talking about, that he was saying that he wanted to do, he wasn't making any efforts to do those. He wasn't making any moves to do those. So I felt that even if we were to speak about business and all of these things, that we could implement in the future, we wanted to have open a restaurant together. We wanted to do events together. We wanted to do, a holistic food store together. All of those things, they require a whole process, a lot of different steps. And I would break it down and say, listen, let's organize ourselves. The things that we can do now, do those. In time, we'll get to the rest of them. It was just even
when
those
did you guys discuss marriage?
We discussed marriage. We did discuss marriage. It was more so put on the table like, okay.
Do you want to be a wife or do you just want a man to help you operate businesses? Do you want to be a wife?
No, I want to be a wife. This is why I'm on the call.
Why are you talking so much about all these businesses and things with him?
Because that's where my mind was, outside of the family life, outside of, creating a life together. That was where my mind was creating also, legacy together.
You don't need to be worried about all that. If that comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That shouldn't be your focus. Y'all don't even know what a wife means. See, this is why, yes, exactly, Bamo. They need my course. Trust me, I'm in the works of putting it all together right now. Y'all don't even know what it means to be a wife. You know what it even means to be a wife?
Absolutely.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I've watched my mother.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you truly did, then you wouldn't have been doing all this foolishness with this man. He had no ambition. I knew that before we had intimacy. I still chose to be intimate with the man. What are we talking about? Your job as a wife is to come in and help the man that you wanted to be your husband. Your job is to assist him. If you knew that, you wouldn't sleep with a non-ambitious man. Do I want to help and assist this non-ambitious man?
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about it for a minute. Logically speaking, you're a very intelligent woman. Do you want to help and assist a non-ambitious man or an ambitious man? Which one makes more sense?
Completely an ambitious man. Completely.
So should we give our body to a non-ambitious man or an ambitious man?
No, it goes without saying. You're absolutely right. I know. I mean, can't even argue it.
No, I want you to answer it, though. I want you to say it with your mouth. Should we give our bodies to a non-ambitious man or an ambitious man?
We should not give our bodies to a non-ambitious man.
Exactly.
Can I say, the other day I was having a conversation with my cousin, my male cousin, and I was saying to him, I think that a big issue in our society is that women do not know how to vet a man properly. And I'll be honest, one of the first times I heard that, that word was through you and a couple of other podcasters that I watch, and, females and males alike, they're both talking about this term of vetting a man. So I was having this conversation with my cousin and I'm like, listen, if women learned how to vet a man better, and I'm speaking from a place that, you know, philosophically, yes, I agree with you. But this is why I'm being very vulnerable. I never do this. I never go on live. I'm like, you know, I decided tonight I just wanted to be vulnerable and just have a conversation with someone who I felt like could give me the raw truth and just, you know, lay it out, because
You've been following my content for how long?
a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks. And so, you know, I think that this thing about vetting a man, like, you know, I know we're not on a one to one, and I don't know how many people are watching us or even what people are saying in the comments. I don't really care. But if I could, you know, there's a lot of things that I could unpack with just saying that, how to vet a man. And some of us, you know, in my age group, I'm 35 years old, you know, it was how we, you know, what we got to see growing up, our parents, you know, our mother.
Was your father ambitious?
Very, very ambitious.
What would your father have told you about being with this man?
Oh, he did not like him. That was one of my main things. Was my family? They did not approve, and they didn't.
So what are we talking about? Okay, let's think about this for a minute. Would your family? Hold on. Let me ask you a question. You've been watching my content. You seem to know who I am. Would your family approve of a man like me?
I believe so. Yes.
Do you think the man was anything like a man like me? You worried about the reason why I've done this is you worried about the wrong thing. You're worried about how soon should I be spending money on a man? Worried about the wrong thing. Like a lot of you women, y'all focus and worry about the wrong thing. You know how many women are listening right now and they're so attentive? Because y'all I said this the other night. I don't know if you're listening. Men, we don't typically seek relationship advice or dating advice. We don't. Do you know why that is?
Because who would you seek it from?
No.
Why is that?
We are not women. We are not you guys. You guys desire to do what? Nest. Right? You desire to nest. It's always going to be a part of your DNA. No matter how much you guys try to escape it with any of these movements or whatever, you're always going to want to nest. Men, at the same time, we don't see any of you as wife material because of your decision making. When we see a woman that's wife material, we know it really quickly. We really don't need no advice. We don't need any help. You guys go by your emotions. You go by your feelings, right?
Yeah.
And you go by the vibe. You need help. You need help.
Well, I appreciate.
A man, we will know fairly quickly whether or not that woman is someone. And sometimes we'll put a woman in a maybe box. When we say, is she wife material or not? We usually know she's wife material or she's not. And then some women will put in the middle, maybe. But I need to see her do this, and this. Maybe. It doesn't take us long to put you in a category.
I've heard that before. I've heard before that it was like something like 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, a man will know.
Yes, within two. He can know some. You know, with some women, we can know instantly. There's been women that I've met. Instantly, I knew she was a wife. I used to work with this woman, and she was already a wife. But my goodness, if she wasn't, soon as I met that woman, I knew she was wife. I said, if this woman was single or if she even had divorced her husband, I would have snatched that woman up.
Well,
I would have snatched that woman up because she stood out that much.
well, she is another man, so you know what I mean.
Yeah,
For him to enjoy,
but I'm just telling you, the way she just stood out was unlike any other woman that, I mean, she didn't come, nobody could come close to that woman.
Was it her aura? Was it the way that she?
All of that, the way she carried herself, the way she dressed, she was modest, but she was just naturally just so beautiful, vibrant. She was full of life, and you could tell she was very loving and nurturing and caring. She was very sweet. She wasn't masculine. None of that stuff. I mean, everything about her, she exuded femininity.
And I gotta say that probably a large part of that was because she was in a very loving man, you know, with a very masculine man that protected her. That, you know, I feel like if women will exude that soft feminine energy when they have, you know, that protection at home too.
Yeah, I don't know about her home life, but I'm just telling you what kind of woman she was. But anyway, my point is to you is that what I'm going to recommend to you is, obviously, when I release these courses, you definitely need to take part in them. You definitely need to take part in these courses. People are saying one-on-ones. I don't think you're going to benefit. For some of you, the one-on-ones, it would take you way too many. This is why I'm developing these courses, because you're just going to be able to go on and get all the information all at once. Where I'm going to literally teach you step by step. And I'm compiling these things based off of, these are the most common things that I've not only in patterns that I've not only noticed about women, but they're most common questions that they've asked. I'm compiling that all together in one course and teaching you guys about relationships, men, how men work, how we think, how to choose a good one. The fact that you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You have to put your feelings and emotions to the side when it comes to choosing the man. And even if you think that, just look, you may have think that you don't choose a man off you do choose men off your emotions, because you told me that it's based off of, I can tell how the vibe is, the energy of the man, if he's coming first. That's a feeling. You're still picking men and looking at men based off of a feeling.
You mean like initially, if somebody, when they approach me? I mean,
all of it, all of it.
There's definitely emotions. Absolutely. I mean, I try to go based off of emotion. I try to go based off of what is presented in front of me. I try to go based off of, you know, the conversation, how they dress, how they present themselves, all of it. But you're right. There is definitely an emotion.
Didn't you hear what I said? I said you have to put all that to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to get help vetting. I even offer this to women. I say, if you have a man that you want help vetting, bring him to me.
Oh.
Pay for a one-on-one session and sit him. I've had women do that. Not many, but they put the man right on the camera in a private one-on-one session, and I ask him questions.
Okay, I'd be interested to know, what types of questions do you ask these people?
Bring me a man. Do you have a man that you're serious about right now? I don't think you do.
No.
Okay,
no.
So
I'm asking these questions because I don't want to, you know, I want to know this information ahead of time. I don't want to be in a situation being like, I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm trying to be, you know, proactive here, you know. So no, I don't have a man that I'd be bringing to you.
The best
That's true.
advice I can tell you right now is to keep watching my content. I think you need to go back to my YouTube channel and watch some of the older live streams that I've done. Okay. And then get ready for this course to come out. And you need to be, listen, I'm going to jam pack this thing and I'm going to do stuff with the course daily.
Well,
I'm going to log in daily and give you guys daily help.
I'm sure I speak for a lot of the women here and maybe some of the men, but I'm looking forward to that course. I'm excited for it. So,
yes.
And thank you for all that you do. Honestly, like I said, I don't usually do stuff like this. It's very vulnerable for me, but I appreciate it.
It's good. It's good. I'm glad you came on.
Me,
No, it's good. I'm glad you came on. It's very good. And I'm glad you made yourself available and was vulnerable. But that's what's needed. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. The women like yourself that actually do this and come on, you're the most likely to actually end up in a good relationship and have a husband. The ones that come on and act, silly and childish and whatever, no, it's not likely. You definitely have potential. You just need some guidance. You focus too much of your life on your career, on research and studying and all this stuff, but you don't know how to deal with a man properly. And you don't know how to pick one. So that's what I'm here for.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Have a good night.
You have a great night. Thank you, Mr. Guru.
All right. You're welcome.